The final Sunday in the month of May brings us to Oracle Park here in Baltimore. Camden Yards, the site for this game between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles, both tied for second in the American League East, 5 games back of the New York Yankees. As you take a look at the series to this point, game 4 of a 4-game set here this weekend, where the Blue Jays lead the series 2-1. Miles Straw hitting a whopping .405 batting average over the last 15 games, as Baltimore will look to even the series and Toronto will look to close this series out here in Baltimore. Cade Povich will get the start today here for Baltimore. Under 4 starts, he's got a 5-1 record, a 40.0 innings pitched, and a 3.15 ERA. Davis Schneider set to lead things off here for the Blue Jays as we are about set for action here this afternoon. The Sunday leadoff, first of a full slate of baseball here across the majors to close out the month of May. And a swing and a miss by Schneider gets things started. Swing and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2. Both of these teams come in second in the American League East behind the New York Yankees. 5 games back. They're going to check it first, and a 3-pitch strikeout right out the gate for Cade Povich, and there's one away. Take a look now at the Blue Jays starting lineup. Schneider went down on 3 pitches. Alejandro Kirk will stand in now, followed by Dalton Varsho. Ernie Clement, Kazuma Okamoto will get the 5 spot. Addison Barger, Juan Yepes, Miles Straw, and Leo Jimenez for the Blue Jays. Former American League champions here in 2026, standing right now just a game above 500, currently tied with Baltimore at 30-29. In there for a strike, 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes. First pitch that misses out of the strike zone for Povich, the 1-2. Hit down the right field line. Giving a look is Jackson, no chance. 1-2 the count. Just missed downstairs. Two balls and 2 strikes and a foul ball once again. Inside, and he's worked it full. Good battle here by Alejandro Kirk, Captain Kirk. The 3-2 goes up and fouls it away again. Just underway here from Baltimore, top of the first here on the Sunday leadoff, getting things started here in the final Sunday of the month of May before we go into June. Ball 4, Povich loses Kirk. And the first base runner of the ball game via the walk for Kirk. He's aboard here with 1 out. Here's Dalton Varsho. First pitch downstairs, ball 1 to Varsho. 9 homers on the season, 36 RBIs. Batting .275 coming into play today. Swing and a miss by Varsho. It's 1-1. Going into the month of June, starting tomorrow, getting to that point in time where all-star rosters start to take their shape. Varsho currently sits in 3rd place in the American League in early voting for the All-Star game. 2 balls and a strike to Varsho. Hitters count. Yanks this one down the line and foul. One of the most aesthetically pleasing ballparks in the majors here at Camden Yards. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Varsho. Ripped foul. Left side, that'll go foul. Couple long at-bats here for the Blue Jays to start this game against Pavic, who's already at 20 pitches here in the opening frame. 1 on with 1 out. Varsho pops it up, straight up the chute. It'll be Henderson behind the mound, and there's 2 away. So 2 outs here in the opening inning for Cade Pavic. That'll bring in Ernie Clement here for Toronto. Clement batting .309 coming into play today. No Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays, having to work without him here in this series. Top of the strike zone. No balls and 2 strikes to Clement. He struck him out. Throws him at the knees, and that'll retire the side. A clean first inning for Pavic, but he threw over 20 pitches. Halfway through 1, Orioles coming to bed. Starting pitcher today for the Blue Jays will be Dylan Cease. The veteran has 12 starts under his belt this season and has not been very kind to him. 2-5 record with a 5.37 ERA, so he'll look to get that down a little bit here in Baltimore. Blue Jays looking for the series win. They're leading 2-1 here in this 4-game set. Orioles looking to force the series tie. Here's Jackson Holliday to lead things off for Baltimore. First pitch from Dylan Cease here today is hit to the left side, and the play will be made. 1 pitch, 1 out, as the play is made by Jimenez. Let's take a look now at the Orioles starting lineup. You just saw Jackson Holliday. Gunnar Henderson will stand in now. The newcomer to the Orioles this year, Pete Alonso, the big bat. Taylor Ward in the cleanup spot. Ryan Mountcastle, Jordan Westberg, Colton Cowser, Jeremiah Jackson, and Christian Vasquez. Here's Gunnar Henderson, Rookie of the Year a couple years ago for Baltimore. Orioles looking to make a postseason push after not meeting expectations last season. Henderson takes a strike. Henderson grounds this one towards second base. A sliding play is made by Holliday, and there's 2 away quickly in the first. Ernie Clement, rather, is over there making that play for the Blue Jays. And now the polar bear, Pete Alonso, first year here in a Baltimore uniform. Right down the middle. 20 home runs, 34 RBIs for Pete Alonso, as the month of May comes to a close here today. In there for a strike, nothing in 2 quickly. Alonso rips it foul, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Dylan Cease gets Alonso looking, and that'll retire the side. Quick work of the Orioles as we are through 1 in a scoreless game. Kazuma Okamoto getting the leadoff spot here in the second inning for Toronto. Batting over 300, minimal plate appearances for the Blue Jays this season. Ball one. Way up and in, 2-0. Three straight balls to start the second inning here for Pavic. Addison Barger waits on deck here for Toronto. Takes a strike on the inside portion of the plate. Strike called top of the strike zone. Full count now as Pavic works it back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a ground ball towards the middle. Holiday will make the play. And there's 1 out here in the second. So Okamoto, a ground out victim, 1 out. And now Addison Barger to the plate. 282 average coming into play today for Barger. Popped it up right side and out of play. No balls and a strike. He had quite the impact in the postseason in the Blue Jays playoff run. Toronto lost in 7 games to the World Series a season ago to the Los Angeles Dodgers. No balls and 2 strikes. Barger chops it foul. Both of these teams trying to keep pace with the Yankees, who are currently 5 games above them at the top of the American League East. Barger, hard shot to short. Henderson, 2 out. 98 miles an hour off the bat from Addison Barger there, right at Gunnar Henderson, 2 out. And here's Juan Yepes, the first baseman. Minimal plate appearances on the season, giving a few guys a day off today are the Blue Jays. Strike 1 at the top of the strike zone. Most notably, no Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the lineup today for the Blue Jays. No balls and 2 strikes. Baltimore giving Adley Rutschman the day off, giving Vasquez the date behind the dish. Into right center field for Cowser. And he will drift over to make the catch. A very quick 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We are scoreless through 1.5 from Camden Yards. Sunday leadoff here on the final day of May. Taylor Ward will lead things off. The former Los Angeles Angel now here in a Baltimore Oriole uniform. 12 homers on the season. He's driven in 28 runs, batting just over 200 at 227. And that'll be the first guy to face Cease here in the second as he takes a strike. Blue Jays 1 game above 500 at 30-29. Same with Baltimore. Tied for second in the American League East behind the Yankees, who are 5 games above them. Ball 1, and our first ABS challenge is coming. Kirk didn't like the call, and for good reason. So call overturned to a strike. It's now no balls and 2 strikes to Taylor Ward. Leading things off here in the second, the pitch from Cease. Chased by Ward and a strikeout. Second strikeout for Dylan Cease. StatCast powered by Google Cloud shows us the pitch sequence. And a 3-pitch strikeout, all on 90-mile-an-hour sliders. Nasty. So 1 out here in the second. Ryan Mountcastle to the plate here for Baltimore. Off the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. 4 homers, 19 RBIs on the season for Mountcastle. Batting .259 coming into play today. In there for a strike, a ball and a strike now for Mountcastle. 7-year career, all of them with the Orioles for Ryan Mountcastle. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dylan Cease to start the second, and there's 2 away. 3 strikeouts now for the veteran. Gonna bring in Jordan Westberg. Nobody on, 2 out here in the second for Baltimore. Right down the middle. Minimal plate appearances for the Oriole third baseman. 2 homers, 4 RBIs, batting a .171 on the season. In there for a strike, 0-2. Back towards the middle, past Cease, snared behind by Jimenez, no play. And a base hit for Jordan Westburn. Little infield hit, base hit in the books, and now here's Colton Cowser with a chance to swing. One on with 2 out here in the second. Dylan Cease from the stretch for the first time. First pitch inside. Top of the strike zone. That fan wants a ball from Colton Cowser. See if he gets one at some point. Checked his swing for a strike. 1-2. Dylan Cease has been sitting in the mid to high 90s on his fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cowser takes inside. Two offering on the way. Cowser inside again. Full count, 3-2. Jeremiah Jackson waits on deck here for Baltimore. Runner from first will get a head start. There goes the runner. And Cowser takes outside for ball 4. Back-to-back base runners here with 2 out in the second for Baltimore. And that'll give Jackson a chance to swing here with a couple runners aboard. In the dirt, good stop by Kirk. Seven homers on the season, 31 runs driven in by Jackson. 2 out traffic here for Baltimore. First 2 batters were down via the strikeout. Now a couple of 2 out base runners. Floater into center for Varsho. And he gets there to make the basket catch to retire the side. Orioles strand a couple of runners on base. And we are through 2 in a scoreless game from Oriole Park. Here's a series recap. Game 4 of this 4-game set here today. Toronto shut out the Orioles on Thursday, 3-0. Friday was a Toronto win, 5-3. Baltimore got revenge yesterday in a 6-5 win in Game 4 of this 4-game set here today. With Toronto looking to win the series 3-1. Baltimore looking to split the series at 2 games apiece. Here's Miles Straw, who attacks the first pitch and swings right through it. No balls and a strike. Straw floats it right field and down for a base hit. Jackson couldn't get there. A little floater to the right side. And Miles Straw is aboard to start the 3rd inning. So a leadoff base runner here for Toronto. Here is Leo Jimenez. Runner goes, pitches inside, throw to second, not in time, and Miles Straw has got a stolen base. His 5th of the season, and the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position. Easy stolen base, not even close. Jimenez batting over 300 on the season. Right side, down the line, that is foul. Trying to force it the other way to bring the home the game's first run. And it's a ball and a strike to Jimenez. Little blooper to right. Over for it is Jackson. He makes the catch. On his way to third is Straw. He gets there easily. Runner 90 feet away now here for the Blue Jays. Productive out for Jimenez as we take a look at the pitch arsenal for Cade Pavich. Just one hit on the fastball. He's used it 67% of the time here early. Back to the top of the order we go, and Davis Schneider, who struck out to start the ball game. RBI chance, runner 90 feet away with one out. Inside, ball one. Right back into center field. Pavich has to duck out of danger. And Davis Schneider drives home the game's first run. RBI single up the middle. And it's 1-0 Blue Jays here in Baltimore. Sent it right back where it came from. Scary moment there for Pavich. And the Blue Jays strike first here on the road. And Kirk now with a chance to swing with a runner on. Kirk lines this one into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Station to station base running here for the Blue Jays. First and second, still only one out. Alejandro Kirk attacks the first pitch. Here's Varsho with two on. Takes outside, ball one. Popped out his first time. 2 for 12 in the series. Schneider at second, Kirk at first. In there for a strike, 1-1. Swing and a miss by Varsho, 1-2. Way outside, good stop by Vasquez behind the plate. Left side, down the line, slicing into the seats. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Pavich, and there's 2 away. Left side, floater, and down for a base hit. Here comes Schneider around third. He will be out. What a tag! Vasquez got the tag on him as he dives past. And the Blue Jays can't strike on that one, but they do earlier to make it 1-0. Here's Christian Vasquez to lead things off. Bottom inning number 3. Made an excellent defensive play in the top half of the third, and naturally you start the third at the dish. No balls into strike. Left side, backhanded by Okamoto, who makes the play, 1 out.
Up next for the Orioles, second baseman,
Jackson Holiday to the plate. Back to the top of the order. The Orioles go trailing 1-0. Breaking ball clips the zone. Off the end of the bat, 0-2. In the dirt, good stop behind the plate by Kirk. Ripped, but foul. 105 miles an hour off the bat on that foul ball from Jackson Holliday. A ball and 2 strikes remains the count. Outside. Downstairs, full count, 3-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Up next for the Orioles, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
Out of the 2-hole and Gunnar Henderson, nobody on, 2 away. In there for a strike, 0-1. 0 for 1 with the ground down, 11 homers on the season, 31 RBIs. Henderson takes downstairs, ball 1. Breaking ball, hit in the air towards left center. Varsho and Straw converge. Nobody's going to get it. It one-hops over the wall for a ground rule double. And Gunnar Henderson keeps the inning alive. Hanging breaking ball. Cease is lucky that one stayed in the yard. Here's Alonso outside, ball 1. 0 for 1 with the strikeout is Pete Alonso, newest addition to the Baltimore Orioles, coming over from the New York Mets in a blockbuster trade. 1-0, Alonso takes downstairs, 2-0. Tying run at second base here for Baltimore early in this game. Pete Alonso with a chance to come through. 2 balls and no strikes. Alonso takes 1 for a strike, 2-1. In there for strike 2. Strikes with 2 outs. Downstairs, full count. Taylor Ward waits on deck. Inside, ball 4. Inning will continue. Pete Alonso draws the walk, first and second now with 2 away. And here's Taylor Ward, another newcomer to the Orioles this season. Game. Looking to keep it alive here in the third for Baltimore. First pitch into right center for a base hit. That'll tie the board with a 2-run double. And he flips the script here in the third. Never hit a cutoff man, might have been the difference there as Alonso blows right through the stop sign and belly flops in for the go-ahead run. So Baltimore jumps in front here in the third. It's 2-1. A 2-out rally by the Orioles. Here's Mountcastle, who takes off the plate. Downstairs 2-0. Mountcastle on the ground to short. Jimenez makes the play to retire the side, but a couple two-out hits turns in to a Baltimore lead. Taylor Ward, the two-run double, makes it 2-1 Baltimore after 3. Kazuma Okamoto leading things off here in the 4th inning here for Toronto. Now a 1-run lead the other way here for the Orioles. In there for a strike. He's been swinging a hot bat as of late for the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss here, 0-2. Right side into the glove of Mountcastle. 97 miles an hour off the bat, right into the glove of the Oriole first baseman. And there's one away here for Addison Barger. No balls and a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Barger. Swing and a miss. Pavic the strikeout, 2 away here in the 4th. And 4 strikeouts now for Pavic. And here's Yepez. Nobody on, 2 out here in the 4th. Yepez takes a strike. In there again, 0-2. Yepez, a Venezuela native, signed out of Venezuela here to the Blue Jays. Rips this one towards left field. Ward on the run, no chance, off the wall. And Yepez with a 2-out double here in the 4th. First double of the season for Yepez, and he roped that one into left field just shy of a home run. But now the Blue Jays looking for a 2-out rally. Here's Miles Straw. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Attacks the first pitch, sends it in the air to right. And Jackson is there to squeeze it. And the side is retired. Blue Jays strand 1 at second base. Orioles maintain a 1-run lead as we're halfway through 4 at the halfway point of this game. News and notes around the MLB. Matthew Boyd for the Chicago Cubs fired 8 innings of 1-hit ball against the Cardinals yesterday. Juan Soto increases his National League leading home run total to 24 in Seattle. Brendan Donovan, who was 1 for 20, got out of it with a 2-hit performance against Arizona in yesterday's game. This time last week, Donovan was in second place in the American League in batting average. Went into a slump during the week. Broke out of it yesterday with a 2-hit performance against Arizona. Westberg on the ground, off the base. It's a fair ball and a leadoff base hit. And it ricocheting off the base like that might have actually prevented him from extra bases. And here's Colton Cowser. Outside, ball 1. Walked his first time, .259 average coming into this plate appearance. 9 home runs on the season for Cowser. Check on Westberg over there. Slap foul. Cowser went 2 for 4 in his previous game with a couple base hits. Off the fists. Right field. And it'll be Barger to make the catch for the first down.
Up next for the Orioles, right fielder.
Dylan Cease's pitch arsenal today. 40% of the time the slider. A lot of breaking balls in this one. He's given up 4 hits. None of them on that slider. Here's Jeremiah Jackson 0 for 1. Runner on first with 1 out here for Baltimore. Inside ball 1. Jackson went 2 for 4 in his previous game with an RBI double. Takes a strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Toronto won the first 2 games of this series, followed by a win yesterday by Baltimore. Hit the other way, and out of play it goes. 4-game set. Started on Thursday here in Baltimore. Jackson behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Cease rolls him over to the left side. Backhanded by Okamoto, who makes the play. Scooped out by Yepes, and a beautiful play for out number 2.
Up next for the Orioles, catcher,
And now Christian Vasquez with 2 away. Runner moved up to second base on that play by Okamoto. And now Vasquez in an RBI spot. Takes outside. First year here in an Oriole uniform, acquired during the offseason here to Baltimore. Two balls and no strikes. On the ground to the right side. Ernie Clement will gather it and fire him out. And the side is retired. Baltimore strands a runner at second base. And we head to the 5th in a 1-run ball game.
leading off for the Blue Jays.
Leo Jimenez set to lead things off here for the Blue Jays. Top half of inning number 5. Blue Jays trail by 1 here against Cade Pavich, who's looked decent in this game. Inside ball 1. Action is up in the Oriole bullpen. Enns is warming up out there for Baltimore. Breaking ball missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Jimenez, inside out swing, gonna turn to gold, base hit to right. And a leadoff single for the 9-hole hitter in the 5th inning for the Blue Jays. And now it flips back over to the top with the tying run on base. Just kept his head down and drove it the other way. Beautiful swing. And now back to the top and Davis Schneider, who is 1 for 2. Stays high for ball 1. RBI single, his first time, responsible for the lone run on the board for the Blue Jays. Schneider takes inside. Schneider was drafted in the 28th round back in 2017 by the Blue Jays. Worked his way up their farm system. Outside 3-0 with Kirk waiting on deck. Three balls and no strikes. Schneider takes one, and it's 3-1. Swing and a miss by Schneider. Full count at 3-2. Rolled him over and sent foul. Full count here for Schneider. Ball 4. And the first 2 men reach here for the Blue Jays in the 5th, and the tying run moves into scoring position for Alejandro Kirk, who singled his first time. Traffic on the bases here for the Blue Jays. Kirk attacks the first pitch, sends it to left field. On the run is Ward, out in front of the wall, makes the catch. And allowed out number 1, throw to third, just late. Jimenez on a fly ball to left tested the arm of Taylor Ward, and he moves up to third, and now the tying run 90 feet away for Dalton Varsho. Varsho on the ground left side, could be 2, 5 to 4 to 3, and the Orioles get out of the jam. Tying run stranded 90 feet away. And the Orioles turn 2 to avoid the Blue Jays tying the game. Bottom half of inning number 5, Jackson Holliday set to lead things off here for Baltimore. Orioles maintain a 1-run lead here in the 5th against Dylan Cease, who's at 61 pitches to start the inning. Holliday pops it straight up in the air. And this will be Okamoto to make the play, 1 out.
Up next for the Orioles, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar Henderson batting .276 will stand in. Nobody on, 1 out here in the 5th. Takes on the outside corner. Henderson tied for 2nd in the American League in doubles. He's at 22 baggers on the season. Loves to hit it to that right center field gap. One and 2. Don't let that fool you, though. Gunnar Henderson also has tons of power in that bat. He can send one 500 feet if he gets a hold of one. 2 and 2. Strike 3 called, and we're going to get an ABS challenge here from Henderson. And it clipped the zone just barely, so Henderson loses the challenge, and he's a strikeout victim. Here's Pete Alonso now. 2 out, nobody aboard. Baltimore down to 1 challenge remaining. Alonso takes inside. Over the past 10 games, Alonso averages 1 RBI a game. Back towards the middle into the shift. A jump throw by Clement. Got him by half a step. Beautiful play behind second base by Ernie Clement. And the Orioles go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Been a fun one here in Baltimore to lead off this Sunday. Orioles have the lead 2-1. It was the Blue Jays who struck first in this game on Miles Straw sending one into the gap, and then a few batters later, Davis Schneider driving him home. Orioles took the lead on a 2-run double by Taylor Ward into the right center field gap, and that's where we stand right now with a new pitcher coming in as well. Dietrich Enns will get the call out of the bullpen. 29 games under his belt. 35.2 innings pitched with a 1.77 ERA. And his first task will be the cleanup man, Ernie Clement, who's leading things off here in the 6th with a first pitch swing and a foul ball. One for 2 in the ball game is Clement, singled earlier. 3 for 11 in the series. Made an excellent play defensively to end the bottom half of the 5th, so naturally you lead the next inning off with a line out to the right side. Mountcastle snares another one, and there's one away here in the 6th. Kazuma Okamoto with 1 out, nobody aboard. 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's made a couple of good defensive plays, though, in this game. Right side, over the head of Mountcastle this time, and Okamoto's got a base hit the other way. And a one-out base runner here for the Blue Jays, tying run on base here for Toronto. Barger 0 for 2 in the ball game, strikeout and a ground out. Behind here, no balls and a strike. Picked his swing. They'll check over to third. He held up, and it's a ball and a strike. Barger, the home run leader on this team with 10. Somehow got a piece of that one, but it's right to Henderson. And he turns 2. Another inning-ending double play for Baltimore. Gunnar Henderson that time makes the play up the middle. Taylor Warren set to lead things off here for Baltimore. Bottom half of inning number 6 in a one-run ball game. 2-1 our score. Dylan Cease remains out there. And his 70th pitch is waved on and missed by Taylor Warren. Ward is second on the Baltimore Orioles in home runs with 12 on the season. Inside ball 1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Action now in the Blue Jay bullpen. Fisher and Nance warming up out there. Just missed. Little floater into center field, coming on fast is Varsho. He gets there. And there's one away here in the 6th. So Ward a fly-out victim here to start the 6th inning. Here's Ryan Mountcastle, who is 0 for 2. Just one hit in the series for Mountcastle, and it was a home run. Takes outside. Mountcastle, a first-round pick back in the 2015 draft here in Baltimore. Takes right down the middle. Inside, hitters count at 2-1. Got the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Ryan Mountcastle. 1 out, nobody aboard in the 6th. In the air to right. Barger. No problem. 2 out. So quickly 2 away here in the 6th. Dylan Cease with 9 pitches to get 2 outs. And here's Jordan Westberg now. The last hope in the 6th inning for the Orioles. Westberg having a good game. He's 2 for 2 so far. Nearly got hit. Westberg went 0 for 3 in his previous game with a couple strikeouts. 2 for 2 so far here today. On the ground right side. Bouncing ball into the glove of Clement. And a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Cease, who cruises through the 6th. To the 7th we go. 1-run ball game. Juan Yepes set to begin the 7th inning for the Blue Jays in the batter's box. 7-8-9 due up here for Toronto against Dietrich Enns, who remains out there after just 6 pitches in the 6th. Outside corner, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Ripped left side into the glove of Westberg. 1 out. 96 miles an hour off the bat to the hot corner. No problem for Westberg. 1 out. Here's Miles Straw, who is 1 for 2. Three hits in the series for Straw, a couple doubles and a single here today. First pitch down, ball 1. Straw turns on this one, whops it to left field for Ward. Oh, he misplayed it and it gets past him. It's going to roll all the way dead near the warning track. Straw on his way to third. He will get there. Wild throw in. He's going to try to come around, and he does. Miles Straw goes all the way around the bases on an error from Taylor Ward. My goodness. And we're tied at 2 on a Little League inside the park home run. And now Jimenez takes the ball, and we're going to get a challenge from Vasquez. What action here in the 7th inning. And that one was a strike. Still trying to process what happened. I don't know if Ward lost that one in the sun or what happened. Here's a ground ball to short and a good snare by Henderson. His throw to first is in time for the 2nd out. And that's going to do it for Dietrich. Dietrich ends pulled here in the 7th in a bizarre top half of the inning. Felix Bautista will come in, take over the pitching duties here for Baltimore. 21 games under his belt. With a 4-1 record on the season, he's pitched 17 1/3 innings with a 3.63 ERA. Reliever of the season, reliever of the year in 2023 will face Davis Schneider in the top of the Blue Jays order. Tie game at 2. In there for a strike. Top of the strike zone. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 3 pitches is all it took for Felix Bautista. Time to stretch in Baltimore. A bizarre 7th, and the Blue Jays tie the game. New pitcher into the ball game here for the Blue Jays. Braden Fisher will get the call. 33 games under his belt so far this season. 3.82 ERA. And he comes in a tie game. A costly error on Taylor Ward allows the game-tying run to come in. And we've got a brand new ball game here in the 7th. Colton Cowser set to lead things off. 7-8-9 here for Baltimore. Cowser attacks the first pitch and fouls it off. Inside, ball 1. Breaking ball off the end of the bat. Inside, 2-2. Foul straight back. In the air towards left center. This could be trouble. Straw can't get it. It's gone. Colton Cowser puts the Orioles back in front. The lefty goes opposite field. And after the Blue Jays tie the game in the top half of the seventh, Cowser gives Baltimore the lead back. It's 3-2. And Jeremiah Jackson will follow that up downstairs for ball one. First home run of the ball game belongs to Baltimore, and it comes in a big spot. Left side, what a play by Okamoto. He throws him out. Okamoto has made a couple excellent plays on the hot corner, and he robs Jackson of a hit. And now Christian Vasquez with one away. Couldn't pull the trigger. Hitters count. Vasquez takes on the inside corner. He's going to challenge it. For now, it's 2-2. Erase that. 3-1. Strike at the top of the zone. Full count at 3-2. Vasquez trying to go opposite field. Barger back a few steps, no problem. 2 out.
Up next for the Orioles.
And now back to the top of the order we go, and Jackson Holliday, who is 0 for 3. First pitch, Holliday takes downstairs, ball one. 235 average for Holliday. Hitless in the ball game so far. Two balls and no strikes. Holliday hits it in the air towards left. Miles Straw towards the line will make the catch. Side retired, but not before Colton Cowser puts Baltimore back in front. He goes the opposite way, sends it over the fence, and gives the Orioles a 3-2 lead. Alejandro Kirk set to lead things off. Top half of inning number 8. Baltimore takes the lead. Felix Bautista remains out there here in a one-run ball game. 2-3-4 due up here for the Blue Jays as Kirk takes downstairs for ball one. Kirk lines it up the middle and through. Base hit, Alejandro Kirk. And just like that, the Blue Jays have the tying run on base. And Kirk is pumped up about that. So Captain Kirk's aboard. He represents the tying run on over at first base. Here's Dalton Varsho. Varsho with a big catch. 0 for 3 in the ball game. Strikeout, pop out, and a ground out. He's 2 for 4 in the series with a double and an RBI here against Baltimore in this 4-game set. Downstairs. Swing and a miss by Varsho, 1-2. Back towards the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Kirk will move up to second base. Wide throw in. Backed up by Westburn. And the tying run moves into scoring position now here for the Blue Jays. Back-to-back base hits up the middle for Toronto to start the 8th inning. Bautista will remain out there for Ernie Clement. First pitch strike and a challenge upcoming. Clement not happy. And for good reason. Ball one. Clement fights it off, 1-1. 3-2 Baltimore here in the 8th. Go-ahead home run by Colton Cowser in the bottom half of inning number 7. Clement down the right side and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now. Big pitch on the way from Bautista. Ball and 2 strikes. Clement takes inside. Somehow made contact with that. Another 2-2 on the way. Clement hits it in the air towards right center. Jackson on the run. He will make the running catch. Kirk from second base will move up to third. Tying run 90 feet away for the Blue Jays. A productive out for Clement. And now anything into the outfield will more than likely tie the game, and it's Kazuma Okamoto, who is 1 for 3 with a base hit. Kirk is not a very speedy runner 90 feet away, so you have to either get a base hit or send it deep into the outfield, and there's the base hit. Okamoto ties the game in the 8th inning. Throw will come to third, it's late. And Toronto comes back to tie it. Back and forth we go in Baltimore, and Okamoto continues to have a stamp on this game. Brand new ball game again, and now the go-ahead run 90 feet away for Barger. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Barger tried to slap it the other way, and it's 0-2. Very good against right-handers. And he's facing a right-hander in Bautista, down 0-2. Barger checked his swing. They're going to check it. 30 went, and a strikeout for Bautista. And that's a big out, number 2. And that's where the road will end for Felix Bautista. He gives up the tying run here in the 8th inning. And to the bullpen, Baltimore goes in a good one. New pitcher into the ball game, Andrew Kittredge will come out. 19 games under his belt, 19 innings pitched. 6.63 ERA. His first task will be Juan Yepes with runners at the corners and 2 away. Go ahead run 90 feet away for the Blue Jays, but with 2 out. So the Blue Jays will need a base hit to take the lead. Inside for ball 1. Swing and a miss by Yepes. Off the fist. A ball and 2 strikes now. Tying run came in earlier. The go-ahead run at third. Pop up shallow right. Jackson coming on. He will get there. The Blue Jays come through in the 8th inning to tie it. Okamoto with the clutch RBI. Tied at 3 to the bottom of inning number 8. Brendan Little will come out of the bullpen here for the Blue Jays here in a tie game in the 8th inning. 38 games under his belt. He's got an 0-2 record. ERA up just under 6. So he'll look to get that down, hold the Orioles to where they are now, and his first task will be the ever-dangerous Gunnar Henderson. 2, 3, and 4 due up here for Baltimore in the bottom of inning number 8. Ball 1. Two and 0. Three balls and no strikes with Alonso waiting on deck. Takes ball 4. Go ahead run the board to start the 8th inning here for Baltimore. And now Polar Pete, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, with a chance to swing. Go ahead run on over at first base. Alonso with a swing and a miss. Runner takes off for second, and he's in there. Gunnar Henderson, the stolen base, his 8th of the season. And the go-ahead run is scoring position now. Alonso takes a strike. He's down 0-2. Rogers and Nance warming up out there for the Blue Jays. Alonso to second base and Clements. Productive out. Runner moves up to third base. Go ahead run 90 feet away as Alonso grounds out. And there's one away here for Taylor Ward. 1 for 3 in the ball game. 2-run double earlier. Gave the Orioles a 2-1 lead at the time. Now he's up here in a 3-3 game with the go-ahead run 90 feet away for Baltimore. Ward couldn't pull the trigger. Ward left side snared, and the throw to first is in time. What reaction time by Jimenez, and he keeps the go-ahead run 90 feet away at third. And now Ryan Mountcastle will need a base hit to give the Orioles the lead. Ball 1 to Mountcastle. Go ahead run 90 feet away, represented by Henderson. 2 out, bottom of inning number 8 in the 3-3 game. The 1-0. Mountcastle fouls it off 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Got to be careful here if you're Brendan Little. Hitters count. Mountcastle pokes it towards left. Straw is there, and Brendan Little gets out of it. Baltimore had the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 1 out. And Little shuts the door to send us to the 9th in a tie game. Miles Straw set to lead things off, top half of inning number 9. Here in a tie game at 3 from Baltimore. Straw 1 for 3 in the ball game. 8, 9, and 1 due up here for the Blue Jays. Against Kittredge, who remains out there. Straw attacks the first pitch, sends it into left field. And the catch will be made by Taylor Ward, who had a costly error earlier. Sunglasses on, makes the catch for the out. And there's one away here in the 9th for Jimenez. Downstairs, ball one. Tap foul, ball and a strike. Davis Schneider waits on deck here for the Blue Jays. Top of the order looming here with one out in the ninth. Pokes it to the right side and it goes to full 3-2. Three balls and two strikes. Right side, that's going to turn in for a base hit. And the go-ahead runs aboard for the Blue Jays. A one-out base hit for Leo Jimenez, his second of the night. And that flips things back over to the top of the order. Davis Schneider now to the dish. Go-ahead run on over at first base. Schneider attacks the first pitch. Shallow right. Back is Holiday. He'll make the catch, and there's two out. Here's Kirk, who attacks the first pitch off the glove of Mountcastle. Race for the bag. What a play! Ryan Mountcastle shows off his awareness and sends us to the bottom of the ninth. Tommy Nance will get the call out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. His job, send us to extra innings. 26 appearances on the season, a $1.38 on the ERA. In 32 and a 2/3 innings pitched, and Jordan Westberg, who's had a good game, 2 for 3, will lead things off for the Orioles in the bottom of the ninth. Westberg takes a strike. Jeff Hoffman, the lone bullpen arm, up and active for the Blue Jays. Outside. Two balls and a strike. Westberg takes inside, 3-1. Hauser waiting on deck. He homered his last time. Three balls and a strike. Westberg takes inside, ball 4. And the winning run is on base here for Baltimore. And that'll bring us to Colton Cowser, who went deep back in the 7th, gave the Orioles a 3-2 lead at the time. And now batting here in a tie game with the winning run on over at first base. Cowser fouls off the first pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Strike called on the outside corner, 1-2. Breaking ball fouled off by Kauser, 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, Kauser. Strike, 3 called, and we're going to get a challenge. Kauser didn't like the call, and it clipped the zone. Strike 3 will stand. And there's one away here in the ninth. And it'll come down to Jeremiah Jackson now. Jackson takes a strike. No balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Westberg, the potential game-winning run on over at first base. Jackson in a 1-2 hole. Jackson pokes it left field. Straw is there. 2 out. So 2 away. Here's Christian Vasquez, who is 0 for 3 in the ball game, just 1 for 10 in the series. Potential winning run still on over at first base in Westbrook. Vasquez takes a strike. No balls and 2 strikes now. Tommy Nance a strike away from sending us to bonus baseball. 0-2, Vasquez outside. Ooh, just missed. 2-2. The deuces are wild. Check on the runner. Westberg dives back in safely. The deuces are wild. Vasquez takes in the dirt. Good stop by Kirk. Full count at 3-2. So now Westberg will get a head start. Holiday would be the next batter. There goes Westberg. And Vasquez takes ball 4. Winning run moves into scoring position. Still with 2 out, we go back to the top. And Jackson Holiday, but first a pitching change. A bloodbath battle here in Baltimore. Blue Jays to the bullpen once again. Tyler Rogers will come out of the bullpen here for the Blue Jays, making his 30th appearance of the season. He's got an ERA right at 3. And his job will be to send us to the 10th inning. Jackson Holiday with a chance to win this game for Baltimore. Winning run at second base, represented by Westberg. First pitch in there, strike 1. Holiday chops it foul, and he's down 0-2. Tyler Rogers, that sidearm release, trying to send us to the 10th inning. Little tapper, left side, Jimenez makes the play, and the side is retired. And we've got bonus baseball here in Baltimore to begin our Sunday. 3-3 our score, to the 10th we go. New pitcher into the game for Baltimore. And it's Ryan Helsley who will come out. 23 appearances on the season for Hesley. Just one blown save on the season. His job is to hold the Blue Jays here. Go-ahead run starts at second base here in the 10th inning. Here's Varsho, who takes a strike at the knees. Out of the way, 0-2. Inside, 1-2. Alejandro Kirk represents the go-ahead run at second base. The 1-2. Fouled straight back. You would think the Blue Jays would consider pinch running for Kirk, but they don't want to lose his bat in the lineup. Strike 3 called, 1 out. Varsho couldn't pull the trigger. Helsley gets the strikeout. And there's one away for Ernie Clements. In the dirt, good stop behind the plate. Clement 1 for 4 in the ball game, batting over 300 on the season. Driven in 25 runs on 6 home runs. Trying to give Toronto the potential lead here in the 10th. Fouled off Vasquez. Strike called at the top of the zone, and a quick challenge here from Clements. And it was close, but missed. So the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Hitters count to Clements. In the air to right. Jackson there. No tag from Kirk, 2 out. And Helsley 1 out away from sending us to the bottom of the 10th, and Okamoto has had a good game both offensively and defensively. Is the last hope in the 10th for the Blue Jays. Downstairs, ball 1. He's batting over 400 this season with runners in scoring position. Strike 1 call. Okamoto ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike to Ryan Helsley. Fouled off by Okamoto, 2-2. Breaking ball hit down the right side. Half foul, stays alive. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Ryan Helsley, a 1-2-3 10th. Sends us to the bottom half where the Orioles have a chance to walk it off. Bottom of inning number 10, still tied at 3. Gunnar Henderson will stand in with the winning run at second base here for Baltimore. First pitch, floater, center field, down for a base hit. Here comes the throw. Varsho fires, not in time. The Orioles walk it off. All it took was one pitch in the 10th inning. Gunnar Henderson, the hero in Baltimore this afternoon. What a game from Baltimore here tonight. A 4-3 Orioles win in 10. They win yesterday, they win today to even the series at 2 games apiece, and they split the 4-game set with the Blue Jays. 4-3 the final score, ends in a walk-off hit by Gunnar Henderson. What a game this was from Baltimore. Back and forth we went. Blue Jays struck first to take a 1-0 lead. Colton Cowser later in the game, a huge home run to give the Orioles the lead. An error by Taylor Ward gave way to a Little League inside the park home run to tie it. We went into the 10th. Helsley shut the door. And then Gunnar Henderson in the bottom half. One pitch is all it took to walk off the Blue Jays here this afternoon.